How many civilian victims can be allowed for killing of a terrorist? Wars always come with casualties. No army can ever fight without inadvertently killing the innocent. But when fighting even for the loftiest of all goals, for defending your homeland, how many civilian casualties are allowed for the sake of this victory? Is there a limit? The reason why this issue is being discussed now, because Israel is targeting terrorists who are hiding among civilians. Hamas recently announced that Israel, while killing their commander, also killed 200 peaceful residents. Is this acceptable? Before answering this question, I'll make two introductions. Number one, this information comes from Hamas, and no one knows if it's true. Hamas does not have a reputation of a reliable news source. But for the sake of this conversation, let's imagine that this is actually what happened. Number two, if someone asks you this question, ask him in return why no one has ever raised this issue, let's say during World War II, why no one asked the USSR or the Allied forces how many German civilian casualties could be allowed for defeating Nazis. Why no one asks these questions during all other wars on the planet? By asking this question, you treat Israel differently than all other countries. The mere fact of voicing this question is using a different standard for Israel than for every other state, which is a textbook definition of discrimination. But we Jews are used to it. And since the question about the civilian victims of Israel's war on terror was asked, let's try to answer it. They say 200 casualties to kill one terrorist is too much. Okay, but is 100 acceptable? How about 50? How about 10? Please answer two questions. Give me a specific figure of the permitted number of casualties, and then tell me the formula that you used to arrive at this number. You can't. There are two types of questions, a moral question and a technical question. The acceptable number of casualties is a technical question, not a moral one. I will explain. If someone has a disease that is destroying his body, the Torah commands this person to eliminate this disease. Healing is a mitzvah, but every medication has side effects. And a medical intervention which is not necessary, therefore, is prohibited by the Jewish law. The Torah doesn't allow you to harm your health. So whether to seek a treatment for your illness is a moral question. Whether you are allowed to harm your health is a moral question. But getting the right balance, the exact dose of medication that on one hand will cure the illness, but on the other hand will do it with minimal side effects, is a practical matter. The Torah answers the first two questions. It commands to heal and prohibits to harm without need. But the third question, the question of finding the correct proportion, the Torah says only doctors should answer. Judaism commands us to listen to experts in this technical matter. All humanity is one organism. If this body has a disease that destroys it from within, a terrorist, it must be eliminated. Even if this intervention, like any medical procedure, has side effects. The Torah forbids causing unnecessary pain to the body of humanity, but here it is necessary pain. It should be minimized, but the question of what is constituting the necessary minimum should be answered not by rabbis, not by celebrities, not by politicians, but by military experts. If a war expert proves that eliminating this terrorist could have been accomplished with less casualties, then Israel did something wrong. If this cannot be established, then Israel is doing everything right. Every innocent death is a tragedy. But if this tragedy is required to destroy a terrorist, we have no choice. If it'll take 50 people killed, then 50. If a terrorist cannot be taken out without 200 victims, then we need to take this tragic measure.